Page 32, Someone to Watch Over Me. Very well-known song. It's kind of nice to play, I guess, if you like the key of E flat major. Now look it over. It's 3 pages long, treble bass clef, 3 flats in the key signature. I just told you it's E flat major. So do the scales on arpeggios for E flat major and C minor. C minor is 3 flats. And 4/4 time signature. Let's just check the fingering. At the beginning, they want you to do a 2-1, 2-1. This part is okay, sort of. But I don't want to do a 2-1-2. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't like doing it. So I'm going to start with 2 and 2-3-1. 1. And then I can do a 2-3-4. I got all the rest of it in one hand position. I only crossed over the thumb one time. It's here. I like that fingering much better. And I'm going to figure it the same way every time it comes up. I hope you understand the rhythm okay, like measure 2. 1 and 2 and 3. Just make sure the half note's on beat 3. 1 and 2, 4. You get it quite a bit. So you either be right all the time or wrong all the time. Measure 8 here as again, I'm going to do a 2-3-4-1. 1 and 2. You don't know if the numbers I'm saying are the finger numbers are counting. Good luck figuring that out. This is counting. 1 and 2 and 3. Numbers, it's 2-3-4-1. That way I catch it all in 2 hand positions. And then, of course, for measure 9, you're back fingering it like you were at the beginning. Now, measure 19, we're here, and measure 20, if you don't want to be up in here, go ahead and use second finger. I don't know how big your hands are, fat finger. And measure 24, I'll finger the same way I did the other one. And then 1. Left hand with broken chords. 1, 2. If you did this, I don't care how you finger, just finger it. Because it's a G, a D flat, and an E. You can't come down here if you want to, or up here. I don't know where you want to be. And then measure 2, the last one, that's a G sharp, a B natural, and an F. You just spell out each chord, you'll get it. It's a little tricky because it's hard to tell sometimes where the accidental is. In measure 6 here, it's a G, an A, and a C, and normally it'd be an A flat, but they put an accidental, and that accidental is on the A flat. It's here. I mean, since the other 2s are already naturals, there's not a lot of point in those, but it is that. So, and then an A flat, and then here. And the fingering here and measure 8, 7, 1 and 2. I do a 1 here. I do a 1, 3 here. You have to do a 1 someplace, they don't tell you where, so I do it on the C. Here, and you figure out these chords, spell them out, you'll work them out, it's good practice. So once I have an idea what the left hand is doing, I'll try and put these together, and I'll hesitate, that's okay, I'll just measure 6. These are all white keys. That's an E flat. 1. You do that mess again. So I'll put the hands together slowly, and then I'll go back over it just a measure or 2 at a time, and I'll work out any hesitations. No hesitations anywhere. Slowly. And then I add the articulation. In this case, it's connected. Just connect it. Up. You can follow the words if you'd like, and if it's a comma or a period or something in the words, you can lift up. Otherwise, I think I would connect it. So measure 2, now lift up, but I'm going to connect this here, even though you could disconnect it. For the words, if I were singing it, I'd sing it straight through. There wouldn't be any silence in there at all. And then the rest. Yeah. The left hand you just play it. You can't connect it. It'd be nice if you could, but you can't, so you just play it. Whatever. Then the dynamics, they apply to the melody. Here, that P, that belongs in the right hand. This is super soft. This is soft. You can't get up just a hair. Don't get up too loud. Stay soft. Because in measure 5, you come up there and then come back down. It's just a swell. Keep the left hand out of the way. Speed-wise, it's in the middle. 1, 2, 3. The idea 1, 2. It's almost an andante. Some people would swing this. It doesn't say to. I don't know if you want to. That's interpretation. If you want to swing it. 1. 1 and 2 and I'm not going to swing it. I think it's better straight, but you can swing it if you want to. It's your interpretation. And then they've added pedal. Well, this you have to be careful. Pedal can ruin it. It really can. You learn it without pedal first, so you can hear what the fingers are doing. And then when you add pedal, you know exactly the effect this pedaling is having. And we can start with their suggestion at that. But I can tell you right now, I don't want to smear that first measure. That just goes yuck. So we have to adjust the pedaling to try and clean it up a little bit. To pedal it like it's shown, notes first and then pedal. Changing the pedal on the last beat of the measure helps. It really does. Go back to the first measure here. That cleans it out, but I still don't like that. Maybe I don't pedal the first 2 beats. Just don't pedal. You can connect it. Now pedal. And the reason for pedaling is to connect the left hand. I want to connect this. Measure 6. I don't pedal the first 8th note. It's here. Left the pedal after you play it, and don't put it down again until you play that. That way I don't get both of those. And if you want to connect measure 7 and 8, you got to pedal the last beat on measure 7. Just to connect the left hand. So a lot of these, I'm not pedaling the first beat on these. You have to pedal it if you want to connect them, but I don't mind. Let's measure 10. Your pedaling, it actually isn't too bad. Just listen to the effect it has and experiment with a little bit. Try and keep the melody clean if you can. Now I put in a page turn in here. You gotta love those page turns. So how do we do this? Because it can't mess up the rhythm. So how are we gonna do it? Well, if you take a look at measures 23 here, you got the pedal helping you out, and this is just a whole note. So once you play that in the right hand, you can turn the page there. But you have to memorize measures 22 and 23. If you can memorize those 2 measures, then you turn the page on measure 23. After you play that, your pedal's going to hold the sound out for you, and you can turn the page real quick there. It's my only suggestion on the page turn. The best thing is just memorize it, or at least memorize page 34, and you don't have to deal with it. But another thing you might consider is starting on measure 24, all the way down to the end until you get to measure 31, those are the same as like from measure 9 on down to measure 14 or so. It's the same. So in that case, one thing you can consider is you memorize measures 22 and 23, and then memorize like the last 2 measures. Those 4 measures total. And that way you can read the stuff on pages 32 and 33 that are the same as on page 34. You don't have to turn the page that way. I'm kind of mixing it up. You have to mark in who's where and going what. But it's another way of not having to turn the page. You're reading stuff on one page that's on another, so you don't have to use the other page. That last measure, that last chord has an ABA under it. You go down, and this is a chord, and I play these 2 at the same time. Here. Different ways of interpreting that too. I would not do all 4 of them one at a time. If the notes aren't too far apart, like here, then you can play all 4 notes rolled. But when they're far apart, that doesn't work, so I play it here. Some people will play the top note with that. But I play the bottom. It's interpretation. Do it the way your teacher tells you to do it. Just know that different people will do it differently. That's all.